Yeah, 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 yeah. Huh? 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 Before we hop into this My Hero Academia chapter 297 review, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, let's hop into it. What's up, guys? That got the pencil here, and here we are to review chapter 297 of My Hero Academia. And I was afraid of copyright. That's why I did that intro that way. But regardless of that, I actually really like this chapter. It does hit just a bit different than the average bear. Now, the thing about this chapter is I'm going to go in chronological order. So let me just tackle it bit by bit. We open up, we see Tartarus, and you know, it's a cool maximum security prison. Reminds me of the Raft from Spider-Man. Reminds me of every max security prison we see in all fiction. Whatever. It's basic, it's boring, it's generic, and we see off rip people dying, people going nuts, people going crazy. It's because of obviously All For One and all his Nomus are rolling through being like, hey yo, let's do it, boys. It's time to go get the main body. We gotta go run that up. And I think this is a really solid intro, if only for the fact that it immediately gets to the point. And I'm gonna talk about this more in reflection later once I get through this summary. But you see, you know, I'm just gonna quickly summarize it all and then go into my thoughts on different parts. See, All For One, he gets in there, he goes all the way through, he talks about blah blah blah. I need to get my body, and All Might was right. I couldn't get my body the normal way. So I'm gonna do it through both sides, my main body and this Shigaraki body, while Shigaraki tries to fight back but fails to. So it looks like All For One still has full control. And then we go all the way in. Everyone's getting out. We have Muscular get out. We have Moonfish get out. We have this random lady get out. We have Overhaul get out. And then we see the end where my man All For One, he's free, he's out, he's flexing, and it says it's time for the birth of a new Demon Lord. And I'm gonna talk about that because y'all know I like Seven Deadly Sins. So when I heard Demon Lord, my mind instantly flipped to this guy, and I'm like, All For One, that you? But regardless of that, here's the thing. I like this chapter a lot because I know a lot of people are excited for a quote-unquote Prison Break arc, but I still think we are having a Prison Break arc. It's all the villains being released. I'm glad time wasn't wasted in Tartarus because Tartarus really got zero build-up. If I'm being completely honest, it was noted that we knew it existed, we knew it was a maximum security prison. However, we had no idea who's here. I mean, we had minor idea. We knew Stain was here. We knew All For One was here. But we had no, like, defense systems built up. Nothing was hyped up. We just knew that people were contained here. So, I feel like this is one of the times where Horikoshi's super fast-paced storytelling does him good. Because I feel like if he tried to make this, like, a 5-chapter, 6-chapter, whatever arc of, you know, just getting through the prison, I feel like it wouldn't make sense. Because I'm like, who are these people? Why do I care? And, once again, people are dying at the beginning. Some guy's brother already died. He was a hero. No one cares though. This is literally just minor stuff. Tartarus is literally just the backdrop. This is a very much transitionary chapter to get us to the more interesting part of My Hero Academia. So how do I feel about different parts of the chapter? I think the intro is very cool. I love seeing Shigaraki all for Shigaraki break in and just, you know, completely tear the base apart as his body's falling apart. And I think this part where the one guard calls them monsters and they aren't even human, it's very oblique kind of storytelling that I kind of hope Horikoshi stays away from. Like, this is obviously, oh look, these people are monsters. This isn't good. These people are still human beings. However, this doesn't really work for me in particular, just because I'm like, now this may sound wrong, but I low-key kind of agree with the guy. The only person who I can't agree with him on is like the lady, because I have no idea who the lady is, so I can't offer a harsh judgment upon her. But in terms of the rest of these people, Moonfish, a mass serial killer, Muscular, another mass serial killer, All For One, you know, the biggest bad to ever big bad, Overhaul, the leader of the underground world. Like, these people aren't exactly good people. I'm kind of shocked that they didn't shoot him. Like, this is me approaching it from a non, like, oh, this isn't me. I'll admit I wouldn't be able to shoot him. I don't have the willpower to do that. However, and I don't know, I feel like these people are much more dangerous alive than they would be dead. And I feel like all of them should have had the death sentence already. Muscular, My man's completely conscientious in his actions, should have been dead. Moonfish, completely conscientious in his actions, should have been dead. Overhaul, the only reason I understand Overhaul not being dead is because he can't use his quirk anymore. Sure, he still has connections and whatever, but the main thing that made him dangerous was his quirk. But he don't got that no more because of Shigaraki. But All For One, I know he's in a disabled body, but it's All For One, you know, the biggest bad to ever big bad. So I feel like Horikoshi was trying to push his theme of people are treated... Ooh, my bad. He was trying to push his theme of people are treated unfairly and it shouldn't be this way. I think he did it with the wrong cast of characters for the most part. Like, parts of the league I can sort of understand. Compress before his big reveal. Toga, kind of, though I really don't. Twice and Spinner are really the two, like, villains that I'm like, oh yeah, I understand all their motivations. They really shouldn't be treated as human beings if you go to get psychiatric help, and the world is wrong for treating them that way. But these people are murderers. Mass murderers. They've killed a bunch of people. I don't feel bad for them. And I think they do deserve to be here. So, I don't know. I think it's mixed messaging. I feel like he should have dropped this somewhere else. I don't think it works. And, like, I understand Kurogiri isn't necessarily that bad of a person, but he did... And technically he isn't a person anymore. He's just the lifeless, alive husk of a former person. But, I don't know. None of these people really, like, earn my sympathy. Like, in this one spread out shot where we see, like, all the villains who are contained, I mean, Stain killed people, Kurogiri killed people, All For One killed people, Overhaul killed people. I don't know what the lady did. Muscular killed a bunch of people, and we know Moonfish killed a bunch of people. I don't feel bad for these people, and I kind of think I agree with the guy. They might walk and talk like people, but these are disgusting beings. Only managed to mingle with society as long as they did because quirks have warped our standards for humanity. And I think that's right, because these people are monsters. However, I can understand people disagreeing with that. You know, can't just categorize them as monsters because it's rude and mean and unfair, but I kind of agree with the guy. And I know I shouldn't, and that's wrong of me, but I'd like to hear what you guys think about that. Do you think this was like the right time to drop this with the right group of people? I'm not saying it would have worked elsewhere, like in regards to Twice and Spinner. I just don't think it works well in regards to the monsters that we do have stored in Tartarus, plus this random lady who probably killed a bunch of people. And then we move to All For Shigaraki. And the thing is, I'm gonna be reviewing the war arc very, very soon. So I have very mixed opinions on All For One taking over Shigaraki. But seeing Shigaraki sort of be like kicked into the ground. Like he's babied now. Like he's not a threat so much anymore, because All For One is the threat. Shigaraki can barely maintain control of his own body, and All For One is just like, sorry chief, after all, you're the next me. I'm gonna use you as the... Because here's the thing. All For One, I thought All For One had two separate consciences. I thought like this All For One was just a sort of All For One visage that managed to take over Shigaraki through the usage of All For One. But no, it seems like this body and the main body are linked in some way, almost like a pseudo hive mind kind of deal. So it seems like Shigaraki, with all his determination and hatred and desire to be his own person, is so weak that he can't even take over a hive mind that's really one guy split between two bodies. And that's kind of sad. I don't know. Shigaraki sort of got like demystified in terms of his terror. When he first popped up in the war arc, he was terrifying. But now I just see a kid just whining for his body back and saying, I won't be your stinking pawn. I'm my own person. But All For One's like, no, you really aren't. And like, All For One is having a casual conversation with him. Pawn, you have it all wrong, Tom, bro. You're so very near and dear to me. It seems like he's mocking Shigaraki, and Shigaraki is in a very mockable situation right now. He's not even in control of his own body. Boy's fodder right now. I don't know. It's sad for him. I feel like this is really bad anti-character regression for Shigaraki. The fact that he's really getting just hijacked right now. But it'll probably lead to something good. I just gotta hope for that. Seeing All For One acknowledge the fact that Shigaraki's body is heavily damaged and it can't do much, but to have Shigaraki's body proceed to do much anyway is kind of, and it's understandably contradictory. I don't know. Like, supposedly he's not doing good, but he was able to tear through the entire guard tower and break all the way down. I don't know. And then we see All For One break free using some electric quirk, whatever, because he had an electric quirk. It's a big bad villain who takes all the quirks to ever quirk, so it makes sense he has one. that allows him to do that. There you go. Then both break in, they form a pincer formation where they let all the villains loose with the new Shigaraki. So that's All For One coming down, and then the All For One that's now free rising up. And as a byproduct of them doing that, Muscular breaks free. Now I'll admit, seeing Muscular brought out a visceral reaction in me. I was like, yeah, I don't know. For some reason, seeing a Muscular really hyped me up. There's no real concrete reason. I cannot properly explain to you why seeing Muscular hyped me up. But seeing him be he's the thumbnail for a reason. I don't know. Just seeing his big muscle-bound self gets me hyped up for a rematch between him and Midoriya. An actual rematch where Midoriya doesn't just steal the win because main character powers. But that's the thing. I'm so happy to see him again. And I really like him with the missing eye. I understand why he's missing the eye, and I think he should keep it that way. I don't know. I really like that missing eye. Moonfish was always boring to me. He never had anything interesting. He just got bodied by Tokoyami. But I'm assuming we're gonna get a more controlled Tokoyami bodying Moonfish this time, rather than the crazy Tokoyami that defeated him before. Then there's this random lady. No opinions on her yet. She looks like she has candy cane hair. I don't know how it's gonna be colored. I've seen like red and yellow. I don't know. Probably killed a bunch of people. There's no reason for you to be in Tartarus unless you killed a bunch of people. And then she lets Overhaul out. Overhaul's focused on his boss, and I really like Overhaul. I think it's pretty obvious. So seeing Overhaul again is cool, but now it has me intrigued because of a big thing I'm scared of, and I'm almost completely confident is going to happen, is that Aries going to reverse the damage on Midoriya at least. I understand if she doesn't get everyone, but she has to restore the damage on Midoriya because according to what the narrative has told us already, Midoriya shouldn't be allowed to fight anymore because of how badly he mangled his body in the war arc. So I'm assuming Aries is going to get undone. However, the only way for Overhaul to be useful again is for him to get his arms back. And the only pre-established way, unless All For One has a quirk that can quirk it, because it's All For One, he can quirk whatever, I'm assuming it would have to be they kidnap Aries, and Aries restores Overhaul. And if that's the case, ooh, baby, I'm liking it. However, that's a hypothetical. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, because at the moment, the only thing I could really see All For One using Overhaul for in particular is just info and like knowledge of the more modern world. But I feel like All For One has that in spades already. That's the thing. I'm not sure what Overhaul's purpose is going to be in this next arc unless he gets his arms back. And the only way I can think of him getting his arm back with things that are established already is through Aries. And while I think that would be good, because not gonna lie, I need Aries to just be slidden out of the narrative. Like she needs to go somewhere else. She can't be here because she ruins tension. I'm sorry. Even if I'm 100% wrong, which I hope I am, I feel like in the back of my mind, because I know Aries there, she removes a whole lot of tension from the series. So I'm gonna need her to go one way or another. I don't need her to die. I think she's a cute little character that can go let her live in America or something. Just don't have her here. I don't know. Aries being in the series is mess. So if this is the way we get Overhaul back through Aries, that'd be great. I would love to see that. But we see that the lady lets him out. Not exactly sure why. I mean, maybe she knows Overhaul has no arms or something like that. And yeah, I have no idea why she lets him out. I wonder what she's done. That's the thing. I have no interest in this lady, and I think her design's kind of weird because of the candy cane hair. But that's about it. And let me see. I would like to know. Obviously, we have all these random villains popping up that are just like lining up behind All For One. And All For One says something super interesting, so I'm just gonna quote it directly. This impending void era will give rise to a more perfect demon lord. This will be the story of how I become the greatest demon lord of all. Now, obviously I'm thinking of the Demon King again, but the thing that gets me more about this is, what's the deal now? Because All For One technically has two bodies, and Shigaraki is looking at All For One, but he's not attacking. And I know Shigaraki's in a very fragile state right now, but something tells me if Shigaraki ever does get control of his body back, his prime objective numero uno is murdering All For One. Now, the thing is, I don't think Shigaraki has control of his body back, because I think due to how reckless we know Shigaraki is, he would likely be attacking All For One right now. Number two, I'm intrigued. All For One's still attached to that machine, but that machine is like floating in the air or something like that. Does he have a telekinesis quirk that I just don't remember? I know he can fly, but I thought that was like some levitation quirk. I didn't know he could do that with other machines. But That's fine. He's still alive. He's still doing all that. And another question. Why this body? Like, if you go get the Shigaraki one healed up completely, I feel like the Shigaraki one's going to be better. It's younger. It's healthier. It's more of a fresh body. You literally say he's going to be the next you. Why for your old body? I'm assuming this was not just for the old body, but to release all these prisoners, because the thing that I'm hyped for now is Chaos, this impending Void era. Because let's be real, there's nothing that can stop All For One and Shigaraki, especially if All For One is controlling two bodies. Two All For Ones, two All For Shigarakis, even if one doesn't have decay, it's still broken enough that we know it's just over for every single person to every person. So I'm hoping this chapter has got me hyped for a juicy, solid time skip. Now, I know I'm getting tired of me asking for it, but one, My Hero Academia is supposed to be ending soon, apparently. So I feel like it could be leading into My Hero Academia Agency. I feel like the big final chapter is going to be everything getting destroyed. We're going to cut to the end. It's going to be the end of My Hero Academia. Then we're going to skip to My Hero Academia Agency, or My Hero Agency, or just My Hero. I would like it to just be My Hero. I feel like that'd be a cool transition. But the thing that has me the most intrigued is, what is the deal now? What's going to happen with Overhaul? Who is this new lady, and why is she being introduced? Why is she being given spotlight? What rematches are we going to get between certain villains? Are we going to get Overhaul versus Midoriya Part 2? Are we going to get Muscular versus Midoriya Part 2? Are we going to get Moonfish versus Tokuyami Part 2? And who can stop All For One? Because at the moment, I think it's no one. If All For One flies off right now, with Shigaraki body in tow, with all the near high-end Nomus he has, there's nothing alive that can stop him, as far as I know. Unless there's something hidden in Vigilantes that I don't know about. Until Eri heals everybody, or until everyone gets healed, there's nothing to stop All For One. And that's the thing. That's why I like this chapter so much. Admittedly, y'all heard, I have a bunch of problems with what's said in this chapter, and I think there are weird things that make me sad, and there are certain character things that make me sad. But the hype with this chapter is what gets me going. This chapter ripped a lot of emotions out of me, a lot of hype, and I like that. I like that way, especially when reading My Hero Academia. So I'm super intrigued, and that's why this chapter gets a solid 8 out of 10 for me. I think it's very, very good at doing what it needs to do. I think it has some mixed messaging here and there, and I think it does horrible things for Shigaraki's character, making him appear so weak. But other than that, I still think it's pretty good. So what do you guys think about this chapter? I think, like I said, 8 out of 10, solid chapter. How I would have improved it, just cut out that cheesy part at the beginning, and I think just shut Shigaraki up, because seeing him whine about not being a stinking pawn only to still be a stinking pawn, it's kind of sad. I don't know. Does anyone else feel bad for Shigaraki? Is that just me? But I'm asking too many questions. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That Guy with the Pencil, writing off.